Hi, Euro USD live PMI Thursday, the 3rd of October 2024 market direction with entry, stop loss, and the take profit. Welcome guys. And on this very live stream, I'll be giving away, I'll be having a free giveaway. So be sure to stick around for that right towards the end of this video. So thank you so much to whoever is joining right now. You know that every Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. my local time, that's East African time, I jump onto these live streams to basically be able to share what I believe the direction of the day is going to be on the Euro USD. Now, if you do not know, this is the world's most traded pair. So many people love trading this pair because obviously these two regions, the Europe area and the United States, they have so many transactions that happen between these two regions. So thank you so much for joining right now. Now, if you're using the New York time, that's exactly at 1:30 a.m. when I always have these live streams every Monday to Friday. So basically we are going to be getting into this. We are going to be, sharing and unpacking everything to do with the direction of the day today, the 3rd of October 2024. Now, for me to be able to share or basically call out these directions, I use my 50% win rate strategy, and this gives me a 1-to-4 risk to reward ratio. So if you are out there and you do not have a profitable strategy, definitely this can be a strategy that you take for yourself and you'll be able to start using it yourself. But now you do not have to just take my word for it. You have to go back test this strategy and be sure that it actually resonates with you. It fits your kind of profile, and for you to be able to start using it. But I'm telling you, it's a very simple and easy strategy that even a complete beginner can be able to use the same exact strategy. So thank you to whoever is joining right now. I greatly appreciate you taking your time every Monday to Friday to basically be able to share and basically be able to, get to know exactly what the direction of the day is like on the Euro USD. Now, so we are going to be getting into that just in a bit, but now, are you someone who deals with over trading? Are you someone who is currently dealing with ordering? You take this trade and you do next trade. Trade sometimes. Are you that is currently going through this? I mean, are you currently dealing with over trading? Are you that kind of person that takes trade after trade after trade? Maybe you encountered a loss and then you want to get back into the market and trade again. Are you currently going through this? Now, if you are going through this, there are majorly two things that could be happening. Number one, you do not have a solid strategy that you are currently trading. Then number two, this might simply be because you maybe trade on a lower time frame. Usually, if you are trading on a lower time frame, this is very bound to happen. So what my solution or what my suggestion would be for this is, number one, you need to find a solid strategy that only gives you one setup in a session. You're trading, let's say the London session, get a strategy that gives you only one setup a day. And then maybe if you're trading New York, the same thing. If you're trading the Asian session, the same thing. So basically try and get one a strategy that gives you only one setup. So what you need to do is go out there, backtest this strategy and make sure it really works, and make sure it really works. So that's number one that you need to do. Then the other thing you need to, or what I would recommend you do, is basically the other thing I would recommend you do is basically for you to start trading on the higher time frames. This will save you a lot of headache. It's even going to save you some time from being on the screen. if you are trading or making entries on the lower time frames, you're basically going to be looking onto the screen all the time. But if you're on the higher time frames, this will enable you, step away sometimes and be able to, be away from the screen in general. So basically, try and find a strategy that makes you enter at least on a higher time frame, maybe an hourly time frame, or maybe 30 minutes, or maybe the 4-hour time frame. So try and find or look for such strategies that enable you at least be away from your screen. So I highly recommend you do this, because if you stay on these lower time frames, most of the times you're going to keep trading and trading and trading, and guess what, guys? You will end up blowing your account. So this is just my recommendation, or this is just my advice to you. You can take it or leave it, but I believe if you go with it, something is going to change about your trading. So basically, this is it. The other thing you need to do is basically always follow your trading plan. Do not deviate from your trading plan. If it says 1 trade a day, keep it 1 trade a day. If it says you enter like this, and once maybe you've encountered a loss, close your computer. Or if you've had a win, close your computer, and that's enough for the day. So basically, this is how you're going to go about this. So going back to the strategy, personally, I trade a 50% win rate strategy, and it's actually the same exact strategy that I use to call these directions for the day. So basically, with this strategy, I'm able to catch a 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio, and it is very profitable because I've traded it for close to 2 years now, and I'm telling you, it's a very profitable strategy. So if you're out there and you do not have a strategy to trade, definitely this could be a strategy that you take for yourself. So as I earlier told you, this is a type of strategy that even someone who is just beginning their trading career can actually be able to trade themselves. It's very simple, and I'm going to be diving into it just in a few. But for me, even before I get onto the charts, there's some kind of routine that I go through on a daily. And one of those things I do is basically check out what the fundamentals for the day are saying. And today, which is the 3rd of October 2024, if we are look at the fundamentals, let me try and check that out. Let me try and show you my screen, or share with you my screen, so that you guys can see exactly what I'll be seeing on my end. So basically, this is my screen. I hope you guys can see it right now. So today, which is the 3rd of October, there's some action when it comes to the fundamentals. Number one, on the euro, we have a bank holiday today. So what does this mean? There's not going to be any action on the euro. So it's only the United States dollar that will be moving. So we expect higher movements as we edge towards the New York session. So basically, this is what it means. So the euro today has a bank holiday. It's a German bank holiday. So we don't expect as much movement during the London session. So, but it will still move, though not as aggressive. So basically, that is it there. And then when it comes to the United States dollar at 3:30 p.m. my local time, that's exactly at 8:30 New York time, there's going to be unemployment claims. So basically, that's a major red folder news event. And then at 5 p.m. my local time still, there will be the ISM services PMI. So what does this mean? For me, when it comes to fundamentals, I'm someone who does not trade this news. What I basically do during these news events, I like to actually manage my trades, especially if I'm in a trade, I like to manage it so that I don't, face any of those volatility problems that come, especially as this news is dropping. So what I like to do is before 5 minutes at least before this news drops, I like to basically go to the chart and move my stop to break even, so that even when some of these brokers tend to sleep. They tend to increase slippage, and you might end up, getting slipped more than you earlier anticipated to risk on that particular trade. So for me to avoid all this, I like to move my stop loss to break even, so that maybe 10, 15 minutes after this news has dropped, this is when I put it back to full risk, how it was previously. So basically, this is how I trade, and I urge you to also try and adapt to this, because it will save you a lot, especially that as these news events drop, there's too much, or there's high volatility in the market. So the brokers tend to increase their slippage, and they might end up, slipping you more than you earlier anticipated to risk on that particular trade. So basically, this is a word of advice. You can take it or leave it, but I believe it will be able to help you. So basically, that is it right there. So without any further ado, let's get onto the chart to see exactly what the charts say for today. So now going into the strategy, the type of strategy that I trade, I told you it's a very simple strategy. So what it is exactly is basically from the previous day. For example, yesterday, which was Wednesday, the 2nd of October. So what basically price likes to do on the previous day, price always leaves some kind of area of interest. By area of interest, I mean either an order block, or this could be, if it's not an order block, this can be a fair value gap, or it can be equal highs or equal lows. So these are what I term as areas of interest, because on the next day, price always likes to tap back into these areas of interest before it actually reverses or continues. So this is how I crafted my strategy, and I'm telling you, it's a very profitable strategy. So basically, what our price does is basically tap into these areas of interest, and once it has grabbed or collected some of that liquidity resting around those areas or levels, this is when price actually reverses to the other side. So what are we looking at for today, the 3rd of October? So you can see this is our chart. This was price action from yesterday, and we are on the 1 hour time frame. So with this, you can clearly see that our price was a bit bearish from yesterday. Price action, what do we have as an area of interest? So number one, we see that from this high of the day yesterday, price was able to break structure, and it left, or it formed an order block right there. So that's one area of interest. Another area of interest is basically see an order block down. This is from previous days, but it is within my limit. My limit is basically at least 20 pips from the order block. If price is actually at least 20 pips or less from an order block, I expect price to come take out any of the stops resting below or above that particular order block. So what do we have here? So you can see this is roughly about 3 pips. So I expect price to come all the way down here, takes out this any of the stops resting below there, and then once it has done that, I would expect price to move to the upside. So for today, I'll be long if price were at 1.10056. If price comes, takes out that particular level, then I'm going long. So that is area number one, or level number one. Or if price doesn't do this, the other thing I would expect it to do is basically come for the stops resting above this particular order block right here. Let me try and show you exactly what I mean. So I also versus to this downside. So either or, if price first comes for this, I take short. So basically, it's an either or. I'm someone who basically reacts off of what price has done. With some of those influencers and gurus out there, especially those that you follow, they tend to tell you, I see some of them on their channels and maybe their TikToks. They tell you that on Sunday, this is my weekly overview. Monday I expect price to do this. Tuesday it would do this. Wednesday it would do this. Thursday it would do this. Friday it would do this. But guys, that's in my opinion, it doesn't make sense to me because usually you should be someone who reacts to what price is doing. So for me, I react to price if it gets to a particular level that I expect it to go to, that I expect it to reach. Once price gets to a particular level, I know maybe it has taken out liquidity from that level, and then I like to react to what price has done. And this is how I make my entries or take my entries in the market. So you can clearly see this analysis. I've done it on the 1 hour time frame, but when it comes to entry, I make my entries or take my entries on the 5-minute time frame. So once price gets to any of these levels, either this or this level, then what I will do, I'll drop down to the 5-minute time frame, and this is where I will look to take my entry. Now, for me to make an entry or take an entry, what I like to look out for is an inversion fair value gap. This is basically when price covers a previously existing fair value gap. Once price does that, then I like to take my entry instantly. So this is how I take my entries. And when it comes to the stop loss, I like to use 30 pips as my, I beg your pardon, I like to use 10 pips as my stop loss. And when it comes to the take profit, I use 30 pips as my TP. So, but of course, I like to also squeeze this to a 1 to 4 to basically be able to make extra profits from the market. So, so basically, this is what I'll be looking out for today, the 3rd of October 2024. Hope you guys will be seeing the same, or hope you guys are seeing the same. In case you found some value from this particular live stream, please give it a like, because it doesn't cost you anything to do that. Give this live stream a like because it really helps out, and it also helps this particular live stream reach to more people like you that would love to be getting this kind of information. So thank you so much for joining me today. And in case you found some value, please give it a like. Don't be shy. Give this particular live stream a like. And then also, if you do have any comments for me, if you do have any questions, try and leave them down in the comment section. I'll be gladly waiting to know exactly what is on your mind. Any questions that you have for me, especially trading related questions, I'll be gladly answering them back. You can as well let me know exactly where you're watching from. I'll be getting ready to know exactly where you're watching from, because I'd like to know exactly where my fans, where my followers are watching me from. So try and go to the comment section and let me know exactly where you're watching from. And yeah, so that is it. Remember to always trade wisely. Try and manage your risk well. Try and be a good risk manager, because if you do not manage your risk well, you won't last in this game. When it comes to trading, you must protect your capital. So try and be a good risk manager, and then don't fall for any of those shiny objects, because on social media today, there's so many people out there that tell you, if you go with my strategy, it's going to give you 1 to 20, do not fall for shiny objects. Many of those guys telling you this, I'm telling you, many of those guys are not real traders. So do not chase any shiny objects. Try and stay within your limits. Don't over risk. And this way you stay so long in this game. So, so basically that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed this. In case you did, leave a comment down in the comment section. I'll be gladly waiting to see exactly what you're telling me. about yourself. So thank you so much for watching. I wish you a very good day. Have a good trading day. Manage your risk well. Have a good trading day, guys.